And welcome back to Choice Men, everybody, where the can opening sounds are fake, but the guys are real. Sam, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Uh, this is a fun episode today. Should be a quick one. One of our is he a listener or does he? Okay,
Yeah.
so
Not often because he is behind, but he's
okay, so
getting
we've got a
there.
listener who's behind, but they verbally submitted a request for an episode topic. Um, Happens to be a family member,
Yeah.
not of mine, but of Sam's. So, Sam, hit us with the topic.
Yeah. So my brother Andrew was like, you guys should do an episode on young men and social media and all the things surrounding that. So, um, and I thought that was a good idea because, being this prevalent in our culture, like social media is huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, this could be a really long episode. We are going to try to do the exact opposite and have it be a really short episode.
yeah,
I mean, we could have a whole series
right.
talking about social media, and that would be fine, but there's no, like, it's more just like, what are our opinions?
Mhm.
Not necessarily covering everybody's opinions that we know, and like, because you really could do that, because there are a lot of ideas and possibilities that you could, you know,
Mhm.
you could really delve into. But I think that, and because we have, we got a couple questions kind of to work through. And the first one is, what is the goodness of social media?
Yeah.
And that answer is going to be different from different people because different people have different standards and different families have different standards about what they're going to do on that front. So that, kind of makes sense. That's fine. I mean, I personally think that the goodness of social media is what social media was created for in the first place, which is social media.
Bring people together.
It does actually bring people together, particularly people that you don't necessarily get to be around that often. Or, I mean, we go to church with people, but like, I don't know what you're doing on a daily basis. If you're vlogging, that's cool. That's the point about vlogging you're giving people access into parts of your life that people would not otherwise be able to have access to. And entertainment is not a problem. Now, depends on what kind of entertainment we're talking about. That could be a problem, and how you use that entertainment could be a problem. But in terms of what the goodness of social media is, there's entertainment value. There is personal connection value, and like you get to meet people and different things. I mean, with social media, we've kind of turned the phrase, it's not, what you know, it's who you know. We made that very prevalent. Like you can really meet lots of people via the internet, and people can find you, because that's the other thing. Like if you're a small business owner, people can find you via the internet way easier than they're going to find you word of mouth. Like there are lots of marketing options on social media. So there's goodness in terms of marketing. There's goodness in terms of connecting with people, like even like your own community people. There's goodness on entertainment. And is social media as good as it used to be? No. And are there still, and the other thing is, on the other side of social media, on the creator side, well, there's creation, there's art, there's stuff like that, and that's really cool. And personally, that is where I like it the most, is watching content creators who more break down their content creation. So like there's tech guys that I like watching because they're showing you how to do some stuff. That's the other thing about social media, is YouTube is technically social media.
Yeah.
But like, do you have any understanding about how much stuff you can learn how to do via YouTube or Instagram? And Facebook even has some how-to people on there. So like, there is lots of stuff to learn that can be educational. And there's also a lot of time you can waste.
Right.
And the goodness of social media can very quickly be tainted. But again, personally for me, I really like the, tech reviews or gear reviews, or, I mean, I really like YouTube golf.
Yeah.
That's way better than watching professional golf. It's 100 times better than watching professional golf. I think, and one of the things that I've always been that kind of kept me in it, it's like Dude Perfect, which by the way, they just dropped episode 50 for Overtime finally.
I think that, yeah, I think I saw that pop up.
Yeah,
Okay.
finally, it's been like a year, and that's
Like,
because
most
they
requested video.
literally have been working the whole year on a lot of things. But one of
Yeah.
the things was they hadn't had their desk finished yet, so it was
Oh.
taking a long time, and they started 3 new channels. So it's really been a grind for them. But Dude Perfect was one of the first places where I started to see kind of what they were building, and I was intrigued by that. I was like, oh wow, it's not just them doing entertainment, because they realized, and I don't know when they realized this and started planning, but like, wait a second, trick shots probably aren't going to be super relevant when we're in our 50s.
Not the real money maker.
Yeah, it's not really the real money maker in 20 years because we're going to be old in 20 years. Now, they still do some trick shots, but in general, they're starting to move more towards being a entertainment industry and bringing more young content creators in who they trust. And then, like, when they released the Dude Perfect app a couple years ago, this is their plan. They're trying to put more family entertainment in front of families. They're trying to build an industry to rival Hollywood and general mainstream media as well. Same thing when they started Overtime. This was because they realized, wait a second, we can't do trick shots all the time. We need to switch up how some things go. They added a podcast that doesn't, Tyler's on there, but he's not the main host. They switch up what you're seeing. They got interns, and they started a channel called DP Interns, where the interns have their own more funny, more relevant to trends kind of social media. Because Tyler and Garrett and Cody and Kobe and Corey are not really super up on the trends.
Right.
Their interns are, because they're 20. So
Right.
so they're doing some more of that. They started a DP Outdoors outdoors channel. So Tyler and then the Pettit brothers, Andy Pettit was a Yankees pitcher. He has the most postseason wins by a pitcher ever,
Okay.
which is pretty crazy. But he lives in South Texas. And his boys, who are like in their late 20s or whatever, they started a channel with Tyler where they do DP Outdoors. So like they build log cabins or they go on hunting trips and stuff like that. Bucket list videos. This is the point. They started creating film essentially for people. And that was awesome. It's clean. It's cool. It is inspiring people to get outside. Like these kind of things, it's an industry. That's the plan. And when you're 8, and you're watching their trick shot videos, you're like, this is cool. And when you're 18, you're like, hey, wait a second.
Log cabin building.
Log cabin building, but you're also like, wow, you're building an industry. They're building a Dude Perfect theme park. They raised like $200 million for that. It's serious to them.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to produce things for other people, and that's the part that I think is one of the best parts about social media is the opportunity to build stuff, and for other people to reach other people. That is the goodness of it, but I think that gets tainted pretty quickly with all the crap you can find. So, they call it brain rot, or just doom scrolling all the time, or pornography. Like there's a lot of crap.
Yeah.
And I'd say there's more crap per capita now than there is of good things. The thing is, though, if and this is like, I'm guilty of this, not setting because the thing is, so like, you actually can filter what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to choose to do that, though. Like, you can choose to have it just be more of a doom scroll. You got all this kind of stuff. Or you could just look at the people you're following.
Right.
And if you're just looking at the people you're following, that is like, what's feeding you? Mm-hmm. So Canon Plus, granted, say what you want about Moscow. I'm leaving that open for the people that don't like it. I think Moscow's great. Canon Plus, which is fine. This is capitalism. They built their own kind of thing that's not actually social media, but it allows people to have a thing that feeds them of entertainment, but that should be more in line with what they believe.
Right.
So they kind of like made like a cheat code for people, sort of like, here's some good stuff that'll help feed you. That's great. And also, you can still get some of that from other people on social media, but you've got to choose that following carefully and then just mostly look at the following stuff. Now, obviously, is it a problem to look at some things that other people made? No, it's not. But you got to be careful about how much you're doing it and what it is.
Yeah. Kind of like the why and everything.
Yeah.
How should young men approach social media? And I guess we'll keep the age range from like 9th grade to just out of high school.
Yeah, I mean, this is difficult. This is a difficult thing because different families have different ideas about when kids should have phones or access to the internet or whatever. Kind of depends on the kid. If the kid is a kid who's taking responsibility and they're not lazy and, you know, you do want your kids to have some freedom, but more freedom as they earn it, as opposed to like freedom because they're demanding it. I mean, like we had a thing where we couldn't have a phone until I don't remember. It's like basically until we started driving or whatever.
Okay.
Like I had bought 2 iPads by that time, and it was with my money. So I had bought one, sold it to, I think, Hallie, bought another one before I had a phone. And like I was buying my own stuff because I was saving up for it. So it was like I was devoted to getting to that point, but I didn't have social media on those things. And like at one point I had on an iPad, I had some games and I spent way too much time on those games. And then it was like, all right, I got to get rid of those games. So I ended up getting rid of those games. It worked out great. It's fantastic. So there's some like, is your kid going to self-manage? And even if they're not going to, even if they are self-managing, you still need to be a part of that.
Right.
So like screen time, that's probably a good, like it's probably a useful thing. Getting screen time because you worked for it, also a good thing. So like you did your chores, you get X amount of time to do whatever. Like Keela gets screen time based off what she does to play video games. Because she potentially, like if she just was able to game whenever, she might game for a really long time. But it's like you have homework to do. Is your homework done? Then maybe if your homework's done, you could do this other thing. And like there's going to be times where it's better. There's going to be times where it's not. Like even for me, there are times where my consumption is way lower and my production's way higher. And there's times where my production is way too low and my consumption is way too high of social media stuff. So like, am I proud of the times where it's too high? No. And also looking for ways to help make that better. Like you can do that. So like Brick, that's one of my favorite things. It's a little square. And the only way you have access or no access to the app is you have to physically touch your phone to the brick to get it. Meaning if you put it in another room and you're like, I want to get on, it literally, when you open it, it says back to living. And you have to press that button to get out of the app and it won't let you in the app. You have to go walk all the way over to the thing. And like that kind of shows how lazy people are. But like you don't actually want it that much. It's brain regulation to go, actually, I don't want that. It makes you think about it for a little bit. Go, actually, I don't want that. I do want to keep doing my work. Why would I want to get on there? That's dumb. Exactly. And then you put your phone down and you get back to work. Your phone is a massive tool, but it's really easily turned into a tool against you. And you really don't want that. So like, there's a lot of things. Apple screen time works. Not if you're the person who actually owns the phone and owns all of your stuff. If your parents set it up, it does work well because you have to request it.
Right.
If it's yours, you can just change it. So like Instagram and Facebook have their own, like you can set the time limit. The time limits are so easy to get out of though. It's kind of pointless. How do I know that? Because I've done it. Okay.
Not just 15 minutes more.
Yeah, 15 minutes more. You know how many times it takes 15 minutes to get to an hour? Yeah, 4. It's really not that many. And it goes by real quick. So, young men should approach it not in a scared manner, but in a cautious manner. And I think parents can help them by helping them create a following. Who are you going to follow? So helping pick some good people to follow that have good content, that have things that are going to help them grow.
Yeah.
So like,
This guy.
yeah, Warrior Poet Society. I would still probably put Dude Perfect in there. Doug Wilson, you know, maybe other pastors if you like them. I mean, so like you can create a following for your kids where that's what they're seeing, and you can help them with that, and talk to them about it.
Mhm.
You know, what have you been learning about? Because that's the other thing. Like some kids just want YouTube so they can learn about a bunch of stuff.
Right. Right.
Is that number high? Probably not, but that at least would be a thing you could try.
Yeah. How should young men use it, or should they? I guess is kind of approaches the same thing, but
Yeah, again, I think depends on the person, and you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
right.
And I don't know that I would say that your life is better without social media. I also don't think I would say your life is better with social media. So it's not like that negative. You could make it that negative. So there are people who are like, my life is way better without social media. Probably because you use social media in a pretty poor way.
Right. And you understand that if
You
don't-
understand now that when you don't use it, it's better.
Yeah.
I went 417 hours with the brick.
Nice.
And that included Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, which I mean is X. And actually, that was YouTube as well. So I have the YouTube website because I don't have. There's a reason I don't have the YouTube app because I like watching longer form stuff, and so I was like, well, I'd rather have to go to the website to get that.
I have a daily 15 minutes a day for YouTube on my phone. So
Yeah.
if I have to use YouTube for extended periods of time, I haven't used it on my phone in a while.
Yeah.
So I just go on my laptop.
Yeah.
If I need extended
Yeah.
period of time.
Well,
But
and again, because you're setting yourself up into that's way more of like a work time.
Right.
Is okay. I need to get my laptop and I need to watch the because sometimes you do straight up need to watch this stuff.
right.
Like because it's for a class thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Because when I watch YouTube on my laptop, it's typically
it's less of a dopamine hit.
it's less of a and it's less of an entertainment type thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing I'm 3D printing on there, or
Sure.
I'm checking other websites for
You're like, hey, I
whatever.
don't know how to 3D model this thing. Maybe I need to look that up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, there's it is and those 417 hours, I'm not going to say those were the best hours of my life,
Right.
but they were good.
Mhm.
It was a good reset. I could do it again. But one of the other things that you could try, is every time you get on there, you have to post something.
Mhm.
You got to hold yourself accountable to that. It's not like there's software that would hold you accountable to that. It's like you would have to hold yourself accountable. But every time you get on, you have to post something. You might get on less, or you might get on the same amount of time, and your production would go up.
Mhm.
I mean, if I was doing that, if I was getting on Instagram, and every time I got on Instagram, I had to post something, I probably wouldn't be on Instagram every day because that's a lot. That's a lot of content to be making and editing and posting. So I could do it. I could try it. Maybe that'll be a series. Maybe I'll try that. But that's
I survive.
yeah. Well, to even be like, this is my 6th video today. I've been on here way too much.
Mhm.
Bye. I mean, because then you're gonna have people who see that, and that there's some accountability there. So again, it is kind of like, well, should your kid be allowed to, I don't know,
Own a gun.
own a gun? I don't know. Should your kid be allowed to own a gun? Maybe.
That's on him.
Yeah.
And
Is your kid responsible enough to do that? No? Great. Then don't do it. Would that help your kid be more responsible? Maybe in your context, yes.
Pocket knives.
Is
for
your
sure.
kid totally ready to own a gun and you haven't done it yet? Then get on it. So it's kind of like you do want to set your kid up for success, and you also don't want to pave the road for them because you're making them fragile by doing that. You want to make them ready for the road. So social media, even if you have a good following page, you're still going to get crap.
Right.
Knowing how to move past the crap and practicing that is good. Is your kid going to be able to do that? Is your kid, I don't know. Like that is knowing the frame of your child. So we can't really tell you that we would know if your child can do it or not. I can probably tell you there are too many young kids with phones and social media,
Right.
even in our own community. I would say too many of our young men have that kind of access. However, I wish more kids had a way where I could contact them and didn't have to email them because I don't read their emails. So how about that? Teach your kids how to check their emails every day, and then maybe I'll have a more positive outlook on, you know, the tech infrastructure with our children. But like before I had a phone, we tried two different kinds of flip phones. Those didn't really work for various reasons for contacting my people. But then I was like, hey, could I buy an Apple Watch? So I bought this Apple Watch. This is the Apple Watch I bought 6-7 years ago, something like that. And the silence was deafening.
Social media, man. Now.
Yeah, social media, exactly. Yeah. No, but like I bought this, and then my mom and dad paid for the cellular on this for a while.
Okay.
And this is how I called and texted my mom and dad. And I could track my fitness. I mean, I wore this every day at school starting in, I don't know. But like
10th grade.
this was my phone. This was my thing. There's no social media on this. There's music, there's texting and calling, but like, okay, that's great. And then at some point I earned myself a phone. And so yeah, when your kids start driving, you should have a way to contact them. And also, I want to be able to contact your kids in an easier way than either contacting you or contacting them via email. So, like, maybe let's get together and let's make a product. I don't know. But, like, again, it's the frame of your kid. You got to know that. We can't tell you.
Yeah.
What I can tell you, it's time for me to go. What's your advice?
Dad advice?
Yeah.
It's not enough for you to hold yourself accountable. You need to make sure your kid sees that you're holding yourself accountable. Because that can help inspire them to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah, that's good. Love it. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Choice Men signing off.
Peace.